Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Anyway.
Did you work food and shit? That's what I was talking about.
Oh, have I ever worked at?
Yeah, have you ever worked at like a restaurant or some shit?
Yeah. I was at Expo.
Okay.
Like randomly, yeah, when I was in college.
It was like, I mean, we could give away free food, but you can't give free food to everybody type shit. But I feel like they don't realize how it shows. Like when you're giving tickets away, you're like, this is kind of the only reason I'm here is if I can sell tickets, you know? So I can't just be giving away free tickets.
Yeah, and you'd always think like in your hometown you get like people would be more down to like support, you know? But it's just like.
But there's a difference between being a friend to somebody and being a fan of somebody.
No, for sure. I would just, because fans don't, they're just gonna support regardless. They don't know, but it's like somebody that was like, nah, I bought you food that one time. Like, you know, like, they feel like they should get a free ticket. But yeah, he usually maxes out his list every time we do that show.
That show was crazy.
Yeah, that's fire.
I think I want to start because you changed my mind on something in a great way that I don't think, I mean, you don't know about because why would you? How long has that Static Selecta song been out?
The one I just dropped.
Yeah.
Not long. Maybe like 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Something. Yeah.
That's crazy. All right, so you have a bar in it about like. It's cool to be an artist, but like you gotta make money.
Yeah.
And in the 2 weeks since I heard that, I made more money from my business than ever. Because I was kind of like, the starving artist shit isn't fun. Isn't cool.
Yeah, it's always tough because it's always the balance you play with when being a creative. You know, especially obviously like with the video shit, it's the same thing because it's like you want to work on stuff that like. You want to do, you know what I mean? And like, ideal world, you're just only working on the best shit with the best artists and the budgets and the creative, but it's just like the reality is, you know what I mean? You gotta make money, you gotta pay your bills, you gotta do that too. So it's like, you know, especially in the early days, you just gotta take in whatever you can to keep the ball rolling. But ideally, you know, that's why you gotta like kind of find a balance with it. But it's a tough reality for any artist. Everybody's supposed to be like, I just want to work on what I want to work on. And it's like, all right, cool, man.
You ever hear that Rick Rubin interview or seen the clip of him talking about like you won't make money from your passion? Like you'll make money from you'll and it's Rick Rubin talking about that, where it's like you'll have work and you have your passion.
Yeah,
you gotta have both, like feed each other.
Yeah. No, it's yeah. I think I did hear that interview. It's a tough balance, man. You know, it's like. It's easy when you have a job, you know, it's a little more black and white because it's just like, all right, I'm gonna go to my 9 to 5, and then after I do all that, I'm gonna work on what I want to work on. But I think creatively, you just gotta try to, you know, blend it in and find. But it sucks that it kind of ends up being like that. But
yeah, do you feel that way with rapping versus video, like directing and shit?
I mean, I kind of. Like, I always feel blessed because I love doing videos, but it's obviously, like, more of the work side of what I do because it's, like, sometimes you just work on shit that's, like, you know, it's cool. It's always good to do that. I'd rather always do that than, like, go work somewhere that I just completely have no interest in. But there's projects that are sometimes a drag or sometimes things that are just, like, you know, you don't really prefer to do it, but... I feel like for me now, like with the artist shit, since I'm still building it up, like that's like purely passion because I just pretty much like record the songs that I want to record, I release them, you know, I get to perform them when, you know, like I go on tour with Web or if I hop on certain shows, you know, I get to rap. So rapping is like purely fun at this point. I mean, eventually, you know, once it builds up more, maybe might change or may not, but directing, you know, it's always like you have a vision when somebody sends you a song or a project, but at the end of the day, you're still really like making their vision happen. So you can't purely just do what you want to do. You know what I mean? You gotta be like collaborative.
But you've been rapping for a long ass time though.
Yeah, it's like I go in. The problem with is like I'll just stop. Like sometimes the directing shit will get so busy, so intense that thank you. Sometimes the directing
There's
stuff will
wax
just.
in there, just.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Not Angel dust.
But it'll just get so busy, so intense that it's like the music shit will get pushed to the side, you know? So like even this last gap, I went on a good little run, I was releasing music. And then I stopped for like 3 years, which is basically like, you're basically starting from literally scratch. Like everything I did, it's like there's some songs that people still listen to, but you're basically literally the whole game is different. How you gotta roll your shit out, you know. So that's always been my thing with music. Is like I just never stayed on it the way I should. But it's also good because that was always my approach to the game of like doing both. So I kind of, it's nice because it's like. Even if I haven't dropped in 3 years, in those 3 years, I've still built up like a lot of dope relationships, a lot more knowledge of the game, like just in staying with the directing stuff. So when I jump back into music stuff, it's like I'm kind of still feel like I'm right in the mix of everything.
Was the directing started to feed the rapping?
I think directing music videos specifically kind of like acted as that because I really was already in film school directing first, but like more so like narrative, you know, like narrative shit, movies, short films, stuff like that. And then it was kind of like I started doing music at the same time while I was in college, and then it was like once college was over, I was like, all right. I mean, I already know this film shit. I'm already like, I might as well just start like shooting music videos for people because like I can make money doing that, and it's like I can still be in the music, you know, industry basically.
Yeah.
And I love doing like I do like doing both. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think specifically music videos like was like a like what would you mean? I could.
And I asked that because I feel very similar with comedy and the podcast. I love the podcast, but the podcast pays my bills, and the stand-up is like what I started for. I'm honest, I started the podcast so people would go to my comedy shows, but then it just kind of like blew up to a level where it was like, damn, I kind of have to feed the machine, and I enjoy the machine, but it's like
still
that's my work, you know.
So
when I see you doing your shit and I really like your music, that's why I kind of wanted to talk, is because I was like, damn, is it similar in that way?
No, yeah, it's exactly that. I mean, it's always a blessing either way to get in doing something that you love to do. And the good thing with the situation is you have control, like, of the podcast shit. You know what I mean? Like you said, you have to feed the machine, but if you really didn't feel like feeding the machine, it's like, you know what I mean? It's not like you can't just be like, well, let's do something else, you know what I mean? Like you have the freedom and you have control to like pick your interviews, pick who you want to work with. So it's like similar to the directing thing, you know what I mean? Like I can still turn down projects. I can still, you know what I mean? If an artist has a vision that I don't really feel like I want to work on, I can be like, no, I'm good, I'll pass.
Is it tough when the paycheck's really high and the project sucks? Like,
I mean,
has that happened? Like, have you been? You don't have to give names. I'm not.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's never tough. I'll put it that way. Like, tough is like, you know, like the work. Like my family is all like trades, construction, like. That's tough work, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's never tough to like shoot a video, you know what I mean? It might be annoying or like, because you kind of feel like you're wasting your time a little bit, but you never really know also who you're gonna meet or what it's gonna turn into. So it's like I try to look at it, but yeah, it's like it can be a drag sometimes when you work on a project, especially in the editing when it's just like the shooting always kind of goes along the way it goes along, you know, it's like. Even if you don't like the idea or whatever, it's still a lot going on. But then when you're editing it, it's like, now I gotta listen to the song 10,000 times. It's like, it's just sinking in on how much I don't like this idea. You know what I mean? So that's where it kind of sets in a little bit more. But yeah, it can be frustrating at times, especially when it's with a bigger artist, because it's like, like my name's gonna be on this, and then people are gonna think that I came up with this idea. You know what I mean? And so it's like that can be frustrating. I feel like I've kind of got to a point though where like I have a voice enough to just be like, nah, that ain't it. Like, you know what I mean? Or I'll give them an alternative, and then sometimes they'll be like, oh, you know what? Yeah, let's go with that. Like that's happened to me a bunch. Like I'll be like, all right, I know you have an idea. I'm not really wholly into it. Like, let me just take a stab at coming up with another idea and see what you think, you know?
Yeah. I hate I used to do video editing for Harvard, like for their videos and shit. And I had to do a video for one of the like the CFO or CEO of Uber. And it was this chick, and I had to watch hours of her.
Oh, yeah.
And
what is this, like an interview?
Yeah, just like, she was like teaching classes, and I hate that woman. How can anyone love her? Like, I hated that woman after watching.
When I first started doing videos, I was doing everything. Like weddings was the first thing I stopped doing, like, the minute I could, because it was just like, bro. But yeah, no, believe me, I've done like everything, bro. Anything you could shoot, I've done. Birthday parties, corporate videos like that, or just like filming a dude talking about like accounting. It's just like, and I'm like, have to wear a button-up shirt and dress up and like this, and it's just like, oh, what am I doing? But you know, you gotta do what you gotta do, and then eventually, you know, the further you get in, you can be a little more selective.
Yeah. I like that you were saying that the trade shit is hard. Because, like, I've roofed and shit, and that's...
Yeah.
You know, whenever I feel lazy about editing a video, I'm like, imagine you have to fucking haul like shingles up a roof. You're lucky to not be doing that. Yeah. You're lucky, like...
No, that's I feel like what really, like, gave me the right perspective coming into this shit, because it was like, you work 8 hours a day out in the sun doing manual labor, and you're making like $150, $200 for the day, and then it's like, I just shot this music video for 3 hours and made $500. It's like a different perspective than somebody who like, it's kind of like grew up in it, and they're thinking like, dang, this person gets paid $10,000 for music videos. I'm only making $500. So my perspective was like totally different coming in. I'm like, this shit is all a win. Like, you know, like I'm shooting a video, I'm making money. Like, so you know, yeah, like that. I think that was good though for me. Like, and you like you said, just the work ethic. Like, that's why sometimes it's like I'll do a video, and then it's like I'll get home, upload the footage, and chop up the video, and maybe send it to the person the next day, and they're like, mind is blown. But it's like, to me, I get home, and I'm like, okay. The minute I edit this video, I'm getting my back end. Like, there's money sitting on my computer right now. Like, what the fuck? I'm about to go edit this shit.
But that's why that one bar 2 weeks ago changed my mind on a lot of shit, though.
Yeah.
And like working hard, like, and it's been 2 weeks. I'm not saying I made money before that, but kind of like, it is true though. You have to make money. Who cares if like...
Gotta turn a profit. Like, you gotta, you know what I mean?
Well, I'm not gonna say names, but I know a really dope, legendary rapper who works in like a hospital, like cleaning shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, like...
It's always tough because it's like, that's why I don't... It's like, it's a message that I feel like is true, but it gets kind of like...
You have to put the work in though. People are making money right off the bat. I don't want people to think that you're going
to... And it gets dicey
right off the bat.
Sometimes artists like just want to be artists, and it's like, yo, you know, like, if that's what you want to do, it's like, I can't necessarily say, nah, don't do that, or, you know what I mean? I can only speak from, you know, how I feel, but, because there will be people that would say the opposite, like, as far as, like, not that you don't have to make money, but they will say the opposite of, like, nah, you should work on stuff you don't want to work on, you should only work on the best possible shit that you're into, and that'll yield the best results. So it's like, it's another way of thinking, but...
Do you think those people, honestly, because you've probably met people higher up in the industry, is that mentality true?
I don't think there's like a true or false or right or wrong. It's kind of like everything's got to be catered to like, to your situation and what works, you know what I mean, for you. I've definitely learned like things where like, say for instance, early in my career, you know, I had a year where it's like I did 100 music videos, right? And like, I've done that before, but it's like when I look back, none of the videos really like moved the needle for me as like a director. They just like, I made money, I spent the money, and it was kind of like a wash, you know what I mean, in a sense. So I did learn that like it comes to a point where it's like one really, really dope video with the right artist can set you up for years, as opposed to like just worrying about making money. You know what I mean? So it's like you have to. That's why everything's about balance. Like you have to have the balance of like you can grind it out, but it's like you always have to take the time to be like, all right, but let me try and do something that's gonna like really grab people's attention and like it might set me up. You know what I mean?
What was that video for you?
There was a video I did with this kid, not kid, but this dude Dave from the Grave. He's an artist from Florida, and like his head was chopped off and it was like laying on the ground, and like it was a fairly simple video, but there was just some cool ideas. But that video had a couple of effects because it was like he was getting a certain amount of views, and then that video just like, you know what I mean, like went viral, and then it was like a lot of the labels and stuff were like, damn, like we want that, you know what I mean, like a good idea. I think that's like a thing for directors too to like remember is like, at least my approach has always been like, I want to work with the big artists and do the budgets and do all that. That's dope, but like I always balance it with like working with new artists that are coming up, because it's like you have more freedom. Like eventually those artists, you know, may or may not become big artists, so it's like it's good to just get in with them early and do something cool. And it's like it's a different type of effect when it's like when you do a dope video for an artist and it like gains them attention and blows them up. When you do a video for Drake and you have the budget and you have everything there, it's like it's expected that video is gonna be fire. You know what I mean? So if you make a fire video, it's kind of like, all right, cool, you did what you were supposed to do. You know, like when you do something like that, people look at it a little bit differently because it's like, oh wow, okay, your idea like actually is what drove this. You know?
Did you know that video was going to hit the way it did?
I didn't know. I just knew it was gonna be a good video. Like, but I argued with him. Like, he didn't want to do it. Like, oh no, man, my head chopped off. Like, I was like, oh, Sally, please. Like, and then he almost wasn't gonna do it. And I was like, bro, I don't want to do this unless we can like do this. Like, this is the idea I'm telling. And then like it blew up. I didn't know necessarily. I just knew that it was gonna be something cool, like to catch people's attention.
Yeah. What's the budget of like a fucking Drake video? Like how much does a Drake video cost?
I mean, could be upwards of $1 million for sure. Like he's obviously like in the point.
Oh yeah, he's probably the
1% like of like people that would have that budget, but like yeah, I mean it can vary, but like the big ones you see where it's like, you know, yeah, they can get up there.
How much is like a budget for a rapper that like that level, like a Jay from the Great? You don't have to give the price of that, but like,
no, I would say independent artists, like independent.
How much should they be paying for a video?
It's like there's no. It's just like it's like the stock market. You know what I mean? It's just like it can be anything. Like, but I would say independent artists. It's always hard to say. Independent artists that have some motion, they're usually paying, like, they'll be down for anything from, like...
Let's say a director that's not of your caliber. How much should they be charging? Like, as someone who just started paying for videos.
There's never any... Because it's like... it depends on what the idea is, right? Like, if the idea takes things to get... Like... But I would say, you know, independent artists, they pay a few grand, you know what I mean? And then you got like the lower tier label stuff, and you have like, the label stuff can kind of go from, you know, 10, 15K to 500K. It can literally be anywhere in the mix.
The reason I push that is there's this rapper DJ Lucas, who I'm a good friend with. And he has been big. He was the headline, the first No Jumper tour. Like, he's been around, but he started like putting a lot of money into his videos over COVID, and it like blew his shit up. And like he always talks to me about how like I don't make music, but like how like pushing the videos is what changed shit. And
were they like dope ass videos?
They were just not done videos. It wasn't even high budget, but it wasn't like.
That's why I say that, because it's like like I've seen $500 videos blow somebody up. I've seen 5,000. Like it could literally be.
But
anywhere.
I do think videos are a big thing that I don't think people who are on the come up realize.
I think nowadays there's so many different lanes and avenues within hip hop that like videos, there's no like black and white, like just like cookie cutter answer, but like it's like for a street artist, right? Like most of the times it's better for them just to like show their lifestyle, keep it simple, keep it raw, and just like more output, you know what I mean? But then there's like certain artists where it's like it makes sense to just like spend a little bit more time and effort to make something that's like super creative and like something that'll just like get people's attention, and you'll get real followers from people that see that, you know what I mean? And then there's some artists where it's like it might just be better to run up 100 TikTok videos and just, you know what I mean, get a clean video of you rapping your song and build your bass. Like, so it's like it could literally, but videos I think are like super important. Like in any of those, you know what I mean, like fashions, it's like.
I think the cookie cutter shit is like you have to put the hours in. You have to do that, and you have to keep investing back in yourself.
And be dope. Like, I think that's something that, like, I think it's said a lot when I hear interviews and stuff, but I think that is like a major important thing. Because even as a director, it's like, how do I do this and how do I do that? It's like, yo, if you make a really sick video for somebody, like the rest will kind of like it'll start to like do itself. Like, you know what I mean? Like naturally people will start to like see it and be like, damn, who did that?
Yeah.
So I think, like you said, like you gotta be. It's like quality and consistency. You just like, you know.
That's the tough thing though, because some people are like. There's a fine line of like you have to believe in yourself so much it's crazy, but you also have to get feedback from other people that what your shit's doing is dope, because you see people who are delusional with it.
Yeah, man. I don't know, man. It's always hard to tell because it's just like stuff like I never know what to say in those times. Cause it's like stuff that I wouldn't have thought like might, you know what I mean, might not have blown up or might not have did well, and then all of a sudden it just like. People love it. Mm-hmm. So it's always hard for me to like, that's I think a good thing too about the video shit. It's just like I've seen so many different ways somebody was like get attention or become a bigger artist. And so it's just like I'm always just looking at it from different angles to think like, all right.
Yeah. I guess like how I feel, and I guess is like, you know in your head if you're on the right path, like if you're doing the right moves.
Yeah.
Like you kind of do know. Like if you're taking you can take L's, but if you know you're taking a bunch of L's, like you have to change things up.
Yeah. I think for me too, I just always try different shit. Like I'm always in a constant state of like, hopefully this works. Like you know what I mean? Like I always am just doing, that's why it's like, and with the output is good too, because it's like I might work on 10 videos that month, you know what I mean? And if like 2 or 3 of them happen to be really dope, it's like nobody really sees the other ones, you know what I'm saying? They only see the dope ones, so it's like you just got more dope shit. Mm-hmm. But you know, like just try shit, man. Like that's the other fun thing about, you know, like being in this shit is like you just have imagination and try shit. Like it might work, it might not, but you can't really overthink it or think too hard about it. It's like at the end of the day, you're shooting a fucking music video, like, you know, like,
yeah.
I think it's gotta be like fun. It's gotta be, you know what I mean? You can't really take it too serious either, or else it's like why even do it?
I feel that way about podcasts. Those high production podcasts with 4K cameras and all that shit. Like, that's why. Because I was like, damn, you can be consistent with that for like maybe a year.
Oh,
But I
exactly.
know you're gonna burn out. I might put out fucking 18, 20 episodes in a month, and if 3 do well, I don't give a fuck about the other ones. Like, I also don't give a fuck. Like, if a clip goes viral, I don't care if the episode does shit.
Yeah.
You know, like.
No, it's just exposure to new people.
Exactly. I just keep moving forward, kind of like you treat it like a manual labor job.
Yeah, I think on your come up, like that's the method. I think on the come up, that's the method, because it's like once you like gain that following, you have the big following, I think that's when it becomes difficult, because then I feel like it is time to like, okay, now I have to be a little more like strategic, or kind of like think like if I'm gonna partner with somebody, or if I'm gonna do a thing with something, like it has to kind of like, then that's where I think that element starts coming. But when you're just like coming up, it's like you said, like anything is you know what I mean, like good, like the clip goes viral, great, like
Yeah.
you know what I mean. But like say once your podcast starts getting to the point where it's like, oh, it's doing 500,000, 100, whatever, 1 million views every time, and then it's like you put one out and it's like it does lower, like you're gonna look at it and be like, I didn't do, like, I don't know, I feel like that's...
It's so funny because as I was just saying, I don't care, like it's funny you got the I Spit on your grave poster up. Like, I just had the producer of Terrifier, the horror series Terrifier. I love horror movies on my podcast. And I know that episode's gonna do dog shit numbers. Because no one who listens to West Side Gun is gonna be like,
yeah, but
wait, what do you want? But I fuck with
Yeah.
it. So I kind of like, damn, I got to talk to him? Like, that's cool as hell to me. Like, the number shit is weird. I think if you output so much shit, all the rappers who are blowing up now are putting out crazy amount of music.
Crazy.
Look at Webby, bro. He puts out a song every fucking week. That shit is crazy. Like, you have to kind of outwork some people in a way.
No, I mean, and I look at it, just me as an artist, I look at shit somewhat realistic too, where I'm like, all right, if Larry June put out 5 albums this year, how could I, and he already has shit, you know what I mean? Like, obviously he didn't do it this year, but I'm just saying in general, or Currency, or like you said, Webby, or like, you know,
Conway did 6 projects,
yeah.
bro.
It's like, if I'm trying to get to that level and I'm not even putting out that much output, how can I expect, you know what I mean, like the results I'm looking for?
How many videos did you do this year? Do you know?
Nah, I have no idea. If I were to guess, I don't know.
Yeah, you could.
I was gonna put it somewhere in like the 30 to 50 range. Though.
Okay.
I would think.
Damn. So
That's
almost
like
one
kind
a
of
week.
That's kind of been like a slower year this year, but.
Changing topics. Why'd you take a 3-year break in rapping?
I think just literally that was the period when I like was moving to LA from like Connecticut and shit, and moving out there, and like I don't think it was anything. Okay, well actually quarantine was like part of the reason, because I hadn't. Now I kind of do what you did with the phone, is like kind of what I did with my music. Like I was getting so held up on like, damn, gotta book a session, gotta go to the thing, gotta do this. I just like, I bought a cheap mic, I bought a fucking thing, I bought a laptop. It was a little bit of an investment, but it was like, I can just, got Pro Tools, and it's like I can just record my own music, you know what I mean? Like, simple, but I didn't do that. Like when quarantine first hit, we were scheduled to go on tour with Webb, and I had recorded a bunch of music, and I was ready to like be dropping it while we were on the tour.
On tour as a rapper?
Yeah, like, well, usually what I do with him is I film and then I rap, like just do both while I'm on the tour. He'll bring me out there in his set, I'll film, his set. I'll just film like the vlogs and stuff. You know what I mean? So obviously that got canceled. So then I kind of like, I still put the music out, but I didn't really promote it like as much as I should have. And then I was kind of like, damn, quarantine hit. And like, I was kind of rethinking like everything. I was just like in Connecticut. I was like, damn, I had already felt like I maxed out a while ago out here. And so I just was like, I gotta get to LA. I was seeing everything on Instagram, like everybody was still out there working and shit. So like, I gotta get out there. And so that's when I moved and then just like started working with a lot of bigger artists. And I think I just got kind of caught up and just the music shit just kind of got put on hold. But then I kind of just had like the realization, bro, just get your own equipment and record. Like, you know what I mean? You don't gotta worry about that. Because it would always hold me up. Like, I gotta find an engineer, gotta put in the studio, and then like I wouldn't really get much done. So I just felt like a weird stride. And then it got to the point I was like, all right, well now I want to make sure when I do come back out with music, like let me build up. You know what I mean?
And now you know how to like build an artist. Like,
yeah, and SB, like the producer that I work with, like, you know, me and him linked, like we always known each other, but I think something just clicked. Like he had made a couple beats and I was kind of changing my style up with my music. Like less auto-tuning, singing type stuff and just more like rap shit, just smooth, laid back, like, and his beats just kind of fit, and then it was just like, once I found that and I could record my own music, it just like clicked where it was like, I would just record, you know what I mean, just record it.
Cause all that new shit you're putting out is dope as hell.
Thank you.
I really listened to all that shit. I fuck with it.
Yeah, a lot of that, and then I got, you know, I have like another album and a half already done that's gonna start like rolling up. All of that is with SB. He just sends beats every week, and I just rap on it.
That's crazy though. So what made you come back after 3 years? Like, is there a moment?
To me, it's like, I'll never stop doing either or, because they're both fun, and I think I'm good at it, and I enjoy it, and people like it when I do it, so it's just like, I always knew in the back of my head, like, alright, when are you gonna start putting music back out? And I think it just felt like a good time. I had got established in LA a little bit more. I had done a lot more, worked with a lot more artists, accomplished a lot more on the directing side. So I just felt like it was a good time to like come back out.
How long were you struggling in LA before shit started popping?
Man, I'm still struggling in LA, man. Like LA is, man, everything's fucking expensive in LA, bro.
I love living in the middle of nowhere, bro.
Oh my god.
Dude, I was living in New York, bro. I hated that shit.
Yeah. No, it actually happened pretty quick. I was staying in like Airbnbs for like 4 or 5 months at first, which killed me at first, because it was like I was paying for the B&B for the month, paying for my condo in Connecticut, renting a car for a month, food, had to get new clothes, like, so that, and then I got to the point, I was like, all right. Just fucking get a crib out here, bro.
You didn't realize that wasn't the thing to do?
Because it was like, the way it was happening, I didn't see the work coming in, but it would just come in. So it was like, it was enough to basically like, oh shit, I'm gonna just get a B&B for another month. But it wasn't like I had in my head like, oh, I got enough work to just post up out here.
Yeah.
It would just be job, like.
No, I feel you. That just looking back on that, you're probably like, I probably wasted so much.
Oh yeah, at least 20, 30 racks just.
Oh my god, bro.
Stupid, but it wasn't stupid at the time, because I was like, it just felt like that was what.
You were doing,
just emotion, you know what I mean? But yeah, but then I was like, what really happened was that was like August, and then it started to get to the end of the year. I'm like, bro, you've been here since the summer, like, just get a fucking apartment, like, what are you doing?
I don't know any of the art on these walls.
Yeah, like, I was just like, alright, and then I went back home, came back CT for the holidays, and just packed my shit up, and then just got a spot out there at the top of the year.
How'd you and Webby meet?
Me and Web? I don't know, CT shit. I mean, it's just like, how did we technically meet? I don't remember, but I do remember like an early, maybe 2013 or 14. I was doing a video for my boy Lecter, G Lecter, and he had Webby as a feature. like I did the video, but that was like 2000, yeah, like maybe 13. And then I always kind of like knew Web, but then like, yeah, like 2017, he came to my studio to shoot a video with Squires, and that's when we were like linked, and then we did our first video. It was like Raw Thoughts, and it was just like blew up.
Wait, that was y'all's first video together?
I think so.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Did you know that was gonna have the impact it did?
I didn't know what the fuck that shit was gonna do, because it was just like he sent it to me and I'm like, okay. Like, you know, obviously not particularly something that I listened to, so I was just like, yo, this is wild. Like, I knew it was gonna be shocking. I didn't know what was gonna necessarily transpire, but I knew it was gonna definitely like make people be like, what the fuck? And he was smart because he knew it was like timely, like to get it out. Cause he sent it to me and he was like, yo, can we shoot this tomorrow? Can we shoot it? Like, when can we shoot this? Like, I want to just put it out ASAP. And he was smart because a lot of shit like kind of came out after that from different artists that were like somewhat similar content. So he was smart in like getting that out. And then, but yeah, once that shit came out, it was just like, yo, let's just keep shooting videos.
How quickly after he sent it to you did you shoot the video?
I was like maybe 2 days later or some shit, and I edited like another day or two, and then he just put it out.
I met him through Knox.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Knox is super dope.
Yeah, shout out Knox.
Yeah, Knox is a funny guy, man.
he's
Lev is good for keeping some characters around. That's
literally. It was funny because he was like, yo, you know Webby? I'm like, yeah, I know his shit. And he's like, I think you guys would get along really well.
Yeah.
And then he just brought us together and that shit.
No, it wasn't
He's
man,
a
like,
smart, bro. He's a really good dude, a really smart dude, talented ass performer. Like, now I look up to his career in a lot of ways.
Oh, yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
like, damn, he really.
a lot of people do. Like, damn near everybody in the, like, the rap shit that's independent, like, you're gonna look at him to some degree because it's like he literally was like a pioneer of that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's really no, like, denying that. But I think me and him work good together because me and him are like the exact opposites, but like.
Yeah, you're
like,
super chill. Like,
you know what I mean? Just
even
all
in
this
your
shit.
rapping. Your
Yeah,
rapping's like the most like chill.
Yeah, he's the exact opposite. Like, and just personality wise, like, it's one of my favorite hobbies is like giving him shit for just being him. Because he's just like, there's so many things that I'm like, oh my god. Like,
Yeah.
but it's funny because there's a lot of common ground that we like found over the years that just like also make us like really good friends. So yeah, no, he's fun.
That's funny on the CT shit. Because I didn't know. That's crazy that was your first video. I didn't know that.
Oh, with
You
that
know,
with him?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's wild.
It was like we did this other they were kind of like, there was two that got right into motion. There was a video called Stick Up that we did. It was like a short film. Those two basically, like, he sent me those like at first,
Yeah.
and then Raw Thoughts I think just came out faster, and like it was the first video that we dropped.
Do you want to do movies and shit still?
Hell yeah. I got a couple like scripts written and like just, you know, all in due time. It's like I have a fucking built up list of shit that I want to do. But me and Weber actually, like, we've been talking about, like, we have this series that we want to do eventually that like I think is gonna be like super dope, but still, you know,
Yeah.
it takes time.
Yeah. That is fun. It's, when I was younger, like maybe like 16, I would see like directors and like even actors and shit, and I'm like, damn, why are they like so old? You know what I mean? Like, and now that I'm like older, I'm like, oh, because it takes time. Like,
I love that though about being a director. Like, that was actually one of the things I love most about this career is like there's no better job than being like an older fly dude than like a director. Like, it's like Martin Scorsese. It's like most people don't even know him, what he looks like when he was young. You know what I mean? Like, so like that was always fly to me where it's like I could do this shit forever. You know what I mean? Because eventually you just do more and more and more shit, and it's like cool to get older, like in this field. To me, at least, the way I
look at Jordan Peele, bro. He was like a comedian. It's all, most people just thought of him like Key and Peele, like just, and now like with all the it's
crushing it. Like
he just was like, nah. Now people know me. I can make the movies.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
And you build that. Yeah, you build your relationships up. You build your actual following up. So the movie already comes with a damn near built-in audience.
What's your genre gonna be? Your genre?
Definitely like mafia shit, like crime drama, narcos, like true stories about crazy, like the craziest drug dealers in the world, or like crazy schemes and shit. Like, even though that's not me or my life, like it's just like that always just fascinated me to like see the come up stories and like how, just like or like I also like I don't know what the genre is, but I guess like fantasy shit, like just like weird, like
Harry Potter?
Kinda, but like I'm trying to think. I can't think of anything off rip, but like kind of, but not
like
that.
Like not real.
Yeah, yeah,
like not like sci-fi.
Yeah, like shit that like blends it with real life. Like I guess
fucking like Narnia and shit.
Yeah, I guess like Lord of the Rings. Like that's a little more on the serious, not serious, but it's like a little more realistic.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, but it has like, or even like Game of Thrones. You know what I mean? Like it's like there's like fantasy shit mixed in. You have giants. You have like weird spirit shit. Like, so I like that too. But yeah, definitely like that like. True story, mafia, crime drama, like that would probably be where.
Movies cost so much fucking money.
I'm surprised, bro. Like they do. Obviously, like movies have huge budgets, but man, people are figuring that shit out. Like people are figuring that shit out like they did with music videos. Music videos used to cost millions. Now you can shoot a crazy music video for a few thousand. Like that's gonna eventually happen to movies, I think.
Yeah.
To some degree, like people will figure out ways to do it, but it's just like there's so many moving parts. It really depends on what the movie's about, like there's certain movies that you can't.
I mean the fantasy CGI,
like crazy. Like when you need hella extras and
artists and shit.
Shooting in the
That's why I'm pro
locations.
AI. I'm pro AI everything. It's like doing math without a calculator. It's like, why wouldn't you just use a calculator? People have to adapt. Like mathematicians were probably so mad when calculators were created. They lost their whole job. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't keep doing it. Like that's how I feel about AI. It's like you really want to hire 1,000 people to be extras in the scene when you can just AI that shit. Like, for real though, like, I'm sorry those 1,000 people don't get the day rate for being extra, but like, that would cut down the process so much.
No, I think it's true. Like, I heard somebody say that AI, like, how back in the day, like the Industrial Revolution, the machines saved like physical labor, like they saved time. Like AI is basically saving time on brain labor.
Hell of time.
You know what I mean? But I'm just scared that like the people that are like making AI have no idea what the fuck like it is. You know what I mean? Like I think they're just like, we want to do AI first, and then it's like that shit. You have no idea what like what it's gonna be able to do itself on some scary shit. Like the ramifications, like what the fuck, you know what I mean? Like you have no idea.
But I don't think the people who created the internet would know what Pornhub would be. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean this is, well no, of course, but this is like way more rapid, way more like scary, because it's like also Pornhub can't like do what the fuck AI, like yo, AI, like they're building these brains, you know what I mean, that are just like, who knows, like, you know what I mean, like, hey, how do you make napalm? Like, hey, how do you do this? Like, you know what I mean, like, it, like.
You honestly never thought about that. They could just be like, how do you make anything? And AI, I'm stupid. I just believe the best in everybody. And I'm stupid. And then I just like to talk out my ass. It's
I don't have that
problem.
quality. Like, I feel like I think the worst of shit sometimes. Like Nah, the AI shit, that's like, I think it's dope. I agree. I use it for shit. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's dope. But like, we're just like getting the like bottom tier, most basic. Make me an essay. Make me a marketing email. Like, that's dope. But then it's like, there's a fucking AI computer that's like, yo, hack into the US codes for this and like make like, and then it's like, I don't know, man. I think my theory in life is like anything that I see in a movie is like now on the table for like reality at some point. You know what I mean? It's like somebody spent years of their life researching a topic and then like they flipped it around and make it like into a movie, but like there's still some truth. So like when you see all this shit of like Iron Man and iRobot and like all these things where it's like the computer basically is like, wait a sec, I don't need you humans. Like,
Yeah.
there's...
But I don't think what could happen to something is a reason not to create it. Like,
I agree, I just think it's like...
Hitler's parents still fucked. You know, like, it's not like they're not gonna fuck. And that's not gonna create a person that's gonna do horrible things.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't know what your fucking's gonna create. You don't know what your computer technology.
I just think nowadays we just be like, they're gonna create that shit, and then they just like put it out because they want to do it before another country or whatever. And it's like, maybe just take a little bit of, maybe just test it a little bit more. Like, I've always been the person that's like, I'm down with jumping, but it's just like, I just want to like see how far it is real quick, like take a look at it, you know what I mean? And then like, and then I'm gonna jump, like, you know what I mean? So,
I just hope that evolution moves forward.
I mean, it is for sure. I think, look at shit, bro. Look at shit from when we were, there wasn't even like cell phones. Barely. Like when at least when I was like a kid, like I don't even think there was yet.
And I got tens of millions of views off an iPhone. That's the crazy
Like,
thing.
just think about
10 years ago you couldn't do that. Podcasts weren't a thing.
Computers were just coming out like when I was a child.
That is crazy to think about. It's kind of, it's too much power.
Now you have a computer.
No one should have that much power to be able to reach that many people.
But that's what I'm saying with the AI shit. The only reason the AI shit is scary
Especially
to
when
me
people are dumb as me.
is because it will know how to like make new versions of itself. You know what I'm saying? Like add on to itself.
But isn't that what humans do?
Exactly.
Isn't that isn't that what we were to monkeys? Like AIs just.
I don't want to be monkeys to AI. That's
like
what I'm
AIs
saying.
that's what we're gonna be.
Yeah, it would appear that
We
way.
don't take up any space. We don't have to buy property. We don't have to fight over.
So you'd be totally cool if someone's like, yo, create Sam and make a podcast and ask these questions, and then like it just happens.
I was thinking about that would be a viral podcast is just having AI interview celebrities. Like just be like have a computer and just interview people would be hilarious. Because they would ask weird questions too.
I don't know who's gonna take over first, Frank, AI or the aliens?
AI.
Yeah, you think before the aliens?
Yeah. You think aliens are touched down here?
Oh,
like
what? Hell yeah.
You ever seen a
UFO?
Black, bro? You ever seen a UFO not on hallucinations?
I've never seen anything, but like I've never heard shit. But like,
you heard an alien?
I've heard shit from people that I know that.
I thought you mean you heard like.
No,
you're outside your window.
Nah, I can't say that I've seen anything, but like, just in my brain, it's like, come on.
We're so far away from going to other planets that I don't know how someone could be so far along that they could come to ours.
It's not that crazy. Like, I don't know. I mean, but I'll go into rabbit holes about aliens just because it like interests me. But
you seen the whole shit about giants on TikTok? Giant Hill.
Like,
you ever seen that?
Bigfoot is like the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
I just think, first off, I'll also say that like the ocean like creeps me out, like scares me beyond all.
Will you go swimming in the ocean?
Nah. Like I'll go like knee high.
But you won't go out.
It's like, if I'm in the Bahamas with my girl, like, I'm not gonna, like, it's not so much just like swimming in the like, because even when you're swimming, you're not really that deep. It's like going under the water freaks me out, but then it's like what's actually in the ocean freaks me out, like on a bigger level, like, because that's where I feel like a lot of the alien shit could also be.
Underwater?
Yeah. There's like something going on down there, bro. It's like most of our Earth is water and we know nothing about it. Like,
yeah.
Like,
we don't know shit about shit. Like, we don't know.
I mean, we know a little bit something about land, a lot more than we know about water.
Yeah.
Like, there's shit that we just have no idea beyond a certain point what is there. Like, I mean, it's easy to believe it's just like, oh, it's just water. But like, I don't know. I've heard some crazy, like.
What have you heard? Now I need to know. What's going on under the water?
I don't know.
I grew up on Cape Cod. I like swimming.
I heard a theory where it's like the water, like our planet. Our planet is mostly water, right? So like that's what controls everything. It controls the tides. It controls controls all that shit. So it's like I heard a theory that it's like really when our planet reaches a certain point, like it just floods itself because like the whole planet is really water. So it could really just be like, all right, fuck all this shit. I'm gonna just hit a reset and like, you know, they had that shit from back in the days, the Bible and all that, like like so. It's the theory that I'm like, well, could be.
You know what?
Like,
you know what? That doesn't sound wrong.
And it's like, so I've heard, you know, because most of like the UFO shit is always like around the water. Yeah. So it's like I've heard people talk about it where they'll say like that's why aliens haven't like really attacked us necessarily because like they're trying to see what's down there. Like, you know what I mean? Like why
just fucking around on land, making,
you know, podcasts. Not shit that I like sit around and think about all day or like live by, but it's, you know, fun rabbit holes that I let my brain go down. Just, you know, but like it makes sense in my head that it's like the Earth gets to a certain point where it's just like, all right.
Like we're a sickness.
Yeah, and then that's why we have all these different eras and ages of like our history because it's just like, you know, like.
Yeah, you are right about it.
So I don't know. The ocean creeps me out. Like obviously creatures and stuff, but just like the ocean itself. Like if it decides to like, just like whirlpool you when you're in there, or like the tide can take you a certain way. Like it itself is scary. Like beyond what's actually in there.
When I was a kid, I used to sail. You could like rent sailboats and shit.
I'm not mad at boats, but
I feel like
sailboats a little scary. I gotta be on a bigger boat.
I feel like being on a cruise ship out in the middle of the ocean would freak me.
I didn't like that. I did one cruise and I was like,
you didn't like it?
It wasn't for me. No.
Yeah. Is that what made you start thinking about what could happen?
Nah, I just always. It was just always something about the ocean in my like soul that just like was just like.
Would you rather work on like one of those fishing boats, like the ones on TV, or work on like skyscrapers, building skyscrapers?
Yeah.
You guys have
what am I doing?
This question too.
What am I doing on the skyscraper?
I'm doing the.
You're the guy out there putting the fucking.
Okay, this is how my brain works, right? Like, it's just like I started to look at it like, what are the like? I wouldn't want to be like a fishing boat. Those that's like a hard ass job. You're like out on that boat for mad long, but like the skyscraper shit, you have a much better chance of just death. Like,
I don't know.
It would just freak me out every day.
I don't know. At least you could go home at the end of the day.
Yeah, I'd probably go with the skyscraper thing because I also feel like after the first like few days of being up that high, you'll start to adapt. Yeah. But
all right, I'll add a third job into this. Working like in the underground, deal with the rats.
Nah, I'll go skyscraper over that. Like. Yeah, New York City, like I always wanted to just wonder like what would happen if they just took New York and was just like and just like lifted it up.
Like
It's
when you see all the ants go crazy.
yeah, and
Just
just see what the fuck.
Oh hell no! What is your guys' answer?
I was saying the fish thing at first, but
Yeah, right.
But I like to smell the fish, the ocean.
This
I'm
nigga
so-
barely make it through a day without having like a certain type of food that he likes and shit. Like he would hate being on that
Yeah,
boat.
but I'm so afraid of heights, but I guess I can get over it.
Would you do the vermin?
What's vermin?
Like the rats and shit?
It's a what?
Like would you work like on a like if you had to every day go down into the subway
And deal
Oh,
with
no.
rats and all
like
that?
be in the dark with like one of the coal miner helmets like
Yeah.
Nah.
Like
fuck
pest
that. One of the rats
control,
bites you with a
dude.
disease, it's over.
Hell no. How about you?
I'm doing skyscraper.
Yeah. But that seems like the worst job ever.
And honestly, with the skyscraper shit, like at the very worst, if you die, at least people will like know exactly what happened to you, and like your family will like get your body. Like
They
if
can
you're
go
on
to
a
the
fishing
building.
boat,
They
like,
can go to the floor and look out and be like, "This is where
this
he's
is the window where he's down. Like
The ocean can just swallow you.
yeah, the ocean. If your boat goes down and some crazy shit happens,
You ever
like,
seen those videos
And-
of the boats tipping
Oh,
with
yeah.
all the shipping containers on them?
and it is fucked up because then their family just like. The last thing they know is that you went out on a fishing trip. Like they don't, you could still be alive. Like you could just be stranded. Like
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah, that family can see you splatted on the ground.
people. There'll be witnesses. The workers that you're with will know. Like yo, this is exactly. At least
The
you
rat shit
you should
just
get
gets so
closure.
gross. I just couldn't deal with all the rats.
get-
Even though it's probably the
smell.
safest out of the three.
And like you know, there's gotta be. Have you seen Lord of the Rings?
Mhm.
Like you know Gollum. There's gotta be some type of weird human things
Oh,
like that
yeah.
in those
Have you ever
subways
seen the family
that have just like been homeless for so many
the
years. Like,
incest families in the south? That's like.
I mean that's not fun. I mean.
No, you seen
yeah. Like in West Virginia.
Yeah, like they just fucking each
fucked
other.
Yeah. That's
Thank you
wild.
for doing this.
Yeah. No problem.
Where can people find your new project?
That's why I didn't pre-think about this interview at all.
I'm glad you
podcast.
I didn't pre-think about it either.
Yeah, because I was just like, I don't want to have shit in mind, and then when shit arrives here,
You're like, no matter what you do, don't mention the West Virginia incest families
and I can like see there's like I watched a YouTube video
of them.
but I can just see the like thumbnail. It's like their faces and shit.
Yeah, it's like The Hills Have Eyes.
Yeah, I'm not into that.
I like horror movies, but not.
I like thrillers, but like,
Oh no, I like gore. I like real fucked up gore. Like, I like.
and you've been trying to like you've realized what that means about yourself.
Yeah, it's Stephen King talked about it once about feeding the alligators in your brain.
Huh.
It's like I like super fucking gangster.
But everybody
guys.
has alligators.
They have their own alligators.
Right.
You know, people are so happy all the time, and I'm like, you have the bodies in your basement. Like,
Yeah.
you have some darkness to you.
Maybe that's why I like the mafia and the other shit. That's
Yeah.
probably my alligators, you know?
And I like rap. Like, I like super, like, you know, like.
I like smooth shit when it comes to me. Like, cause also too, it's like, I have to like sometimes remove myself. Like when I watch movies, like I'll like, my heart will start racing. Like I'll like really get into it, you know what I mean? And so it's like, if I do that with music, cause I always listen to music. Like,
Me too.
there's usually always music playing. So if I'm always have like that, it'll just like affect my psyche. Like I like,
Yeah.
you know.
I just stopped taking mushrooms and, like, going to see movies or listen because it was, like, I'd just be in it.
Like you can have a great experience doing that, but yeah, it can get a lot. That's how it is for me with smoking. That's why it's like I try not to like I like smoking obviously, but if I like I'll be watching a movie and somebody else cancer, oh my god, I get cancer, fuck, like
I'm like an
I
ounce or
gotta
two
go to
of
the
weed.
doctor.
I'm just,
Yeah.
I chain smoke.
No, I love weed. I like also like getting high and like not being that high and like ooh, I'm gonna get high again. Like
Yeah, no, I'm not like a fucking. I think a lot of people, and I know I said it to plug your, but I feel like a lot of people, and this is my preachy shit, is smoke blunts and don't realize that they're addicted to tobacco.
Oh
And
yeah.
it's like you don't even want to get high, you just want to smoke the tobacco wrap.
Some people know that shit too, and they're just like,
Yeah. I used to smoke 10 backwoods a day, but I'm 5 years clean of all nicotine and tobacco.
nice. Yeah, I smoke papers too.
Just
Like,
papers, yeah.
it's sometimes good because it's like some of them people don't want to smoke your shit.
They never
Oh,
do. They look at it
Oh.
like, they're like it's like you're a vegan.
Yeah. I don't know. I think the smoking shit has changed for me like all throughout my life. Like, I feel like now I smoke for like, there are certain things that it's just like, I won't say I have to smoke, but I much prefer them. Like, smoking is almost like Adderall for me in a way. Like, when I sit down to edit a video, naturally my brain will just start like want to do other shit. Like, it won't want to like just lock in. Like, it'll, you know, let me make some food. Let me get a drink. Let me do it. But if I smoke, I'll just like zone out and just like sit there for hours. So it's like with making music, with editing, with coming up with a treatment, with things like that, like all day. And then there's certain things that it's like, all right, I don't want to be high for this. Like this isn't gonna be a good high.
Yeah. Thank you, man, for doing this.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Do you want to plug anything before we wrap up?
Shit, Rook director on everything.
Follow him, listen to his music.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Hey,